Hi, welcome to the live feed for Advert. I'm Aldric, Toyad, the copywriter and content strategist behind Advert. So, what do I do at Advert? Or what I do is I help small businesses and professionals increase their visibility and assert their credibility through informative and non-manipulative content. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, when we see sales or when we see marketing, it's usually plagued by ideas where first time see, convert immediate, instant conversion. It goes back to that idea where sales is seen as taking money at the highest level possible from people who don't need a particular product or service. And there are many, this idea that there are many formulas, tips and tricks which allows or which calls for that manipulation has turned off many people. So what I want to do with informative and non-manipulative content is basically create content which educates the audience, the target audience. So when we're talking about your respective business or profession, let's say real estate agents or real estate negotiators or brokers for that matter, wherever it is legal and however it is legal, you have so many things to cover, right? We're looking at things like how is the buying process, how is the selling process, how do you identify the right property for your budget, your market, your audience. And then that's just the buying and purchasing. You haven't covered areas like who are the parties involved. Okay, you have the agents, you have in some instances, like if you're from the United States or in other jurisdictions, you have the buyer's agent and seller's agent. How do you select the right buyer's agent for you? How do you select the right seller's agent for you? And what do these terms mean, right? So when you're in the industry or when you're familiar with the process, it comes second nature. But when you are actually a beginner, let's say a first-time home buyer, how do you select the right agent? And with all these tools that are there online and so many rumors, people saying, oh, agents are bad, agents are corrupt, or this or that. There's so many undertable exchanges that puts clients at risk. I mean, there's some truth to it. I can't say that it's 100% absent of. I can't say it's 100% transparent. I mean, every human transaction involves a degree of transparency and secrets, right? And we can't say, and they could be exchanges on the table, but that's the thing. These are misconceptions sometimes, and first-time home buyers who have never been taught how to find this agent, how to filter, what questions to ask. They don't know, and they would appreciate having all sorts of content, especially now in the COVID-19 era, or rather the internet era. Now we're talking about 5G and we're talking about 4G and we're moving towards 5G. We're talking about high-speed internet. We're talking about accessibility, accessible devices, internet penetration. So more consumers are using the internet search engines to find out more. I mean, come on, you've heard the anecdote where patients turn to what's that online medical platform to check out their symptoms before going to was it Mayo Clinic? I can't remember for the life of me. They would check their symptoms. What do I have? I have a headache. I have a fever. What is fever, right? People are hungry for these content which they can use. So, coming back, small businesses and professionals, you have a lot of things that you can do to educate your audience and educate the process, educate the elements that are involved. Provide content that helps answer basic questions, FAQ questions, and some FAQ questions, you might be surprised, can be expanded into a blog post, into a series of posts. It could be a series of posts on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your website, in your YouTube. Last year, a little game that I did was within 3 months or within 2 months, can I produce 100 videos? And I did that. I did that for Real Estate Informer, a page that I created specifically for real estate. And I created 100 videos based on frequently asked questions. And these questions are targeted to different segments. You have the experienced buyers, you have the first-time buyers. You can ask questions like, what is leasehold and freehold? Come on, let's be realistic. How many of us, how many Malaysians, how many buyers are aware of leasehold and freehold? What's the difference between tenancy and lease? Even owners are not that aware. What are caveats? These are technical terms which will help your target audience understand the landscape better. And the reason and the idea is, as you educate more and more people, they become familiar with your profession, and more importantly, with what you do and who you are, right? When it comes to social media, when it comes to content, I know I'm rambling in this particular live. Come on, I will start, doing questions in the future, basically to structure the presentation, right, or the discussion rather. When it comes, oh dear, I'm off tangent already. Yeah, so bear with me, I'm sorry. So when it comes to all these technicalities, you want to break down the barrier, especially when it comes to virtual marketing or online marketing or digital marketing. Many people, many small businesses, many professionals, they approach digital marketing or content marketing as if it's an online billboard. Go onto their Facebook, go onto their Facebook page, their LinkedIn page, their Instagram. How much content in ratio are there to educate potential buyers or potential sellers or potential clients? Yet how many are selling? And you can see this on many pages. Today you see a post 30% off, tomorrow 30% off, the next day 30% off. It can be medical health, it can be natural supplements, it can be furniture, it could be real estate, it could be any other service. So the point I'm trying to say here right now is, you have this platform, you have this media which you can help educate your audience. You can help them understand better. And when they begin to see you as the source of credible information, and they trust you because you're not manipulating them to buy something today because it's 75% off until the end of March, they will trust you and they would refer you. And we've seen so many testimonials where once people are comfortable with the particular service provider, they would begin to refer businesses even though they don't they have never purchased or hired or engaged you, right? And that stems from that ability to educate, to teach, to help solve certain problems. And thanks to technology, especially knowledge workers, but then again, everyone now is a knowledge worker supported by products or service. Okay, I digress. Thanks to the internet, thanks to all this technology, this Facebook Live, YouTube Live and whatnot, you're able to leverage and help as many audience or as many target audience as possible at fraction of the cost. Now, if I were to do a one-to-one with many people, helping small businesses or professionals, for me to help one by one, it usually takes about half a day, a whole day to sit down. Why? I want to understand their business objective, their marketing objective, where you're going. Even if I'm writing a simple website, it's not as straightforward. It's not as straightforward as just writing. Otherwise, it doesn't fit your business objective. It doesn't fit your marketing objective. If your marketing objective is to grow domestic sales, then your content has to fit or meet that particular objective. It has to fuel the curiosity. It has to answer the relevant questions. So for example, if you're going to open if you're a Malaysian-based company and you're trying to export to, say, Indonesia, right? There are things that you want to answer there. I mean, potential Indonesian buyers will be wondering, how are we gonna try to make the exchange? What channels can I do to make the payment, and how will I receive? When will I receive? One nice platform that is able to answer this question, if you will, again, platform, yeah, is Shopee, Lazada, all these online resellers, Etsy. But these are platforms, right? The platform is payment through this gateway, and then it will be posted that way, right? But the education goes beyond that transaction. So the more complex, the more intangible your services are, especially, or the higher, the bigger, or the more expensive it is, your products are, the more information is needed, the more content is needed. And content is not just words or videos or graphics. It's a combination of it. So coming back to that sitting down and understanding your business objective and marketing objective, when you're doing it yourself as well, why are you deploying all this content? Why are you publishing this? What's the main outcome? It ties back to that marketing objective earlier on. Are you trying to raise brand awareness? Are you trying to increase visibility? Are you trying to assert your credibility? And how do you assert your credibility? Which market? Okay, so it ties back. And because social media, digital media is so easy to publish, many of us, many small businesses, many entrepreneurs, many professionals, they don't take that step back to understand their landscape. So when they're posting God knows what, and it doesn't seem coherent and consistent. So I'm going to use my example on this Advert Writer page, right? My goal is not to sell anything yet. My goal is to educate, create awareness, increase visibility, increase traffic, which would eventually lead to engagements in the future. When I'm meeting people for a one-to-one discussion, like I did just before the movement control order was issued here in KL, in Malaysia, I had a whole day session with one relationship coach. We went through the book. Well, I wouldn't say the whole book. We went through parts of business model U and value proposition design. The idea is to understand what solutions is being provided or are being provided by this particular coach, what's the value, and then we can figure out the editorial calendar that fits that particular goal, leading to the right outcome, right? So it goes back. We need to understand where you're going, because if we don't know where you're going, any way is right. And the problem with any way is right is tons and tons of revision. There'll be endless revisions. So clarity is key. And even if you're doing it on your own, right, have an idea of who you're trying to target. When you're on LinkedIn, when you're on Facebook, when you're on a Facebook page, who are you targeting? Okay, my rambling is going on with in a weird sequence, so I'm gonna end this here. As I said earlier on, this is just the first attempt to do a Facebook Live. Eventually, I'll do a live based on FAQs, questions, and feel free to leave comments, questions, and share the video. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Remember, if you're deploying communication, please understand what you're trying to do. Remember that your communication, your message ties back to your business objective and your marketing objective. Once again, I'm Aldric Toyad with Advert Writer, helping small businesses and professionals raise visibility, assert their credibility through informative and non-manipulative content. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day, and please stay safe. Bye.